My name is Frankie Moules-Wright and my postcode is NG177NE. My first classical monologue will be Proteus's monologue from Two Gentlemen of Verona by William Shakespeare. My contemporary monologue will be Spud's monologue from Wonderland by Beth Steele. And my second classical monologue will be Pisanio's monologue from Cymbeline by William Shakespeare. And my song will be That's Life by Frank Sinatra. Even as one heat, another heat expels. Or as one nail by strength drives out another. So the remembrance of my former love is by a newer object, quite forgotten. Is it mine eye, or Valentine's praise, her true perfection, or my false transgression that makes me reasonless to reason thus? She is fair, and so is Julia that I love, that I did love. For now my love is stalled, which, like a waxen image against the fire, bears no impression of the thing it was. Methinks my zeal to Valentine is cold, and that I love him not as I was wont. Oh, but I love his lady too much, and that's the reason I love him so little. How shall I dote on her with more advice, that thus without advice begin to love her? It is but a picture I have yet beheld, and that hath dazzled my reason's light. But when I look on her perfections, there is no reason, but I shall be blind. If I can check my erring love, I will. If not, to compass her, I'll use my skill. I started down pit when I was 16. Loved it straight away. I couldn't wait to get down. I'd grown up on pitman stories from my father, the camaraderie, the craft. When I was 19, I got to drive the cutter. That's the machine that cuts the coal for the first time. It's a big thing now. A really big thing to drive the cutter. Only the older blokes do it, but down pit, if you aren't working and respectful, you get given a chance. Anyway, I did a good job of it, and I was excited, you know. For the first time in my life, I felt like I'd really achieved something. And when I got home and told my father, he was like, "You didn't, did you?" And I was like, I did, and he was dead proud, you know. Dead proud. When my father was dying, 2 years ago now, he asked to be cremated. My mum was upset about that. She didn't want to go and talk to a gravestone. She wanted him down there. And anyway, one day when we were alone together, I talked to him about it. I say, "What's the matter? You're dead anyway." If it gives my mum some comfort, and he raises himself off his pillow and points his finger at me and says, "I've spent most of my life down there. And when I'm dead, I am not going back down." And I was so fucking angry. I felt cheated. Like I'd been sold muck for diamonds. What I'd been made to believe all these years was precious was dust. the pit. It's just what we got, what we made it be for us. When I think about it now, it don't make me angry, it makes me sad. My father wasn't deceiving me, he was deceiving himself. So when you say to me, if that's what I want, I don't know what I want. I never asked myself that question. I don't think people around here do. How? Of adultery? Wherefore write you not what monsters her accuser, Leonidas? Oh, master, what a strange infection is fallen into thy ear, what false Italian as poisonous tongued and handed hath prevailed on thy too ready hearing. Disloyal? No. She's punished for her truth and undergoes more goddess-like than wife-like, such assaults as would take in some virtue. Oh, my master, thy mind to her is now as low as worth thy fortunes. How? That I should murder her upon the love and truth and vows which I have made to thy command, her blood. If it be so to do good service, never let me be counted serviceable. How look I that I should seem to lack humanity so much as this fact comes to? Do it. The letter I have sent her by her own command shall give thee opportunity. Oh, damned paper, black as the ink that's on thee, senseless bauble. Art thou a Frederick for this act? Looks so virgin-like without. Lo, here she comes. I am ignorant in what I am commanded. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shut down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream, but I don't let it get me down, 'cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out. And I know one thing, each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. I said that's life. I chose these monologues because of their range. The first classical monologue you saw I chose because of its comedic output, and I find that comedy is something I have a strength in, and it was also an opportunity for me to translate that into Shakespeare, which is something I've never really done before. My contemporary piece was chosen because it relates to me on a personal level. I, like Spud, grew up in a mining town where I also grew up on hearing stories about what it was like to be in the mines, only to later in life realise that it wasn't exactly what it was made out to be. And for the final classical speech, I chose that mainly in contrast to the first, because whereas the first was in comedy, personal strength, the last one was much darker in tone and follows a much stronger character with more authority and more duty, and seeing that strength in such conflicts I found to be quite interesting. My acting experience up to date has consisted of me entering many amateur dramatics groups across Nottinghamshire, from performing yearly pantomimes at Lovelace Theatre Group to helping out in smaller community plays in Mansfield Palace Theatre, to recently joining Inspire, which has given me a lot of insight into what it's like acting behind the camera. I also studied acting in college, whereby I learned a lot of different techniques and styles. Personal hobbies of mine consist of anything artistic, really. I am very practical in that sense. I enjoy any form of painted or drawing art, and I've taken up carpentry and do bits of woodwork around the house when I have free time.